I'll hit record and we'll get started. So welcome to our first call of May. I want to say it could technically be our second if you were with us on Thursday night with Steph Cram's team. We did a leadership call. If you're reading the John Maxwell book, 15 Laws of Growth, you can join us for the first Thursday of every single month, and we'll be discussing one chapter at a time as kind of a supplemental thing to our other everyday PD. You can still be, by all means, listening to other audios or reading other books, because one chapter a month isn't really that much to be doing. So we want to encourage you guys to get on board so we can discuss that as a team. And I know her and I did a lot more of the talking, but we really want it to be an engaging call and hear what you guys have to say, and get you all talking as well. Same thing tonight. Beth and I are going to go over some free group best practices and some tips, suggestions, and give you access to our templates and forms and show you what we use so that you can do it. But we also want to hear your questions and your thoughts and comments on running free groups. So I won't waste any more time talking about anything. If you missed the announcements, we did talk about them as far as like Success Club Prize and Summit and stuff on Thursday. So you can go back to that call and listen to the recording. The recording was put up a couple days ago. So Beth and I have a lot to dive into, and we will just get started. And I'm going to turn it over to her. We're just kind of going to go back and forth and share with you guys. I'll share my screen. Do you want me to just do that, Beth? I'll share it.
Yeah, because I can pull it up. I have it on my phone here too. But
okay, yeah, I'll share my screen and get the slides up, and then we can go through them.
All right, so we'll just get started right away because I know we're in limited time. So basically free groups. I kind of wanted to go over a little bit more of why we have free groups and what's the purposes kind of behind them. And I know my purpose is sometimes a little bit different because I really operate a lot anymore off of Instagram. But some of the real reasons that we do run free groups are, number one, to really get people hooked on accountability. You want them to, this was my case. I did a few free groups and I fell in love with them. I never had done anything like this before. And that's kind of why I became a coach and things like that, because I really fell in love with the accountability. You also want to run them to add value to people. You really want to add value before you ask for value. So I would say 99.9% of the time, I have people in a free group before they're in a paid group. I follow that kind of funnel where I invite first to a free group, unless somehow it ends up, naturally occurring or something like that, like they're asking about specific workouts or something like that. But if it's like, we were just forming, I invite to a free group always first. And that just allows me to add value to them. And it is a way to build trust with people. It's a way to show them that you almost know what you're talking about, and that you're going to be with them and how you are as a coach. It's almost like an interview. So we're going to get into kind of what you can do to do better in free groups, but really, you really want to put your heart and soul in these free groups because that's kind of, like I said, an interview almost for the larger group. So for me, my main purpose for free groups is to expand my network because I do a lot of operation off Instagram where they don't really know who I am. We haven't really built a relationship yet. So other than like little chats back and forth, versus Facebook where I feel like it's a little bit more relationship based. So it gives me a way to invite to something, to bring them into my Facebook world and to transition them from Instagram to Facebook. So I'm just going to quick go over what I do on Instagram to bring them over to Facebook to invite them into a free group. Literally, I have someone, if they like my page or my post on Instagram, I will say, if it's a workout, hey girl, thank you so much for liking my workout post. I appreciate it so much that you would support my journey and send good vibes my way. Are you on a healthy journey too? And they'll respond usually in one of two ways. One, yes, I am. And I get a little bit more information. Oh, what are you doing? How's it going? And then maybe invite them to coach from there. if they're, another thing is that they'll say is like, oh, I'm struggling with this. I don't know how to do this. And I'll go right into, oh my gosh, I know the struggle is so real. But if you're looking for I usually say, but if you're looking for whatever they just told me, what they're struggling with, I don't know if I know this. I wrote this on the bottom of the slide too. I don't know if you know this, but I actually run these free online accountability groups to really help plan and prep healthy foods for the week and stay accountable to healthy eating and working out. Would you be interested in more details? And a lot of times they'll say, yeah, that's awesome. And then I'll be like, oh, I'll tell them a little bit more about the group. And I'll say, I run all the groups on Facebook. Do you have a Facebook page? And that's kind of how I transition them over to Facebook and start building the relationship more that way. So that's the main reason why I run a free group every month, because it gives me a way to transition those people from Instagram into Facebook. But otherwise, even on Facebook, even on, because I still have friends on Facebook and I'm growing my network on there as well. I'll just start a conversation. I'll reach out to people on Facebook, say, happy birthday, how are you? And I'll start the conversation, and then I'll form them. I'll ask them about, how their kids are doing, what, their job, how their day went, things like that. Get that form done. And then I'll send a message about, a week after forming them saying, hey girl, how have you been? How's your week going? I was just thinking about you today. I have this free fitness challenge group coming up that I'm looking for a few ladies that are interested in getting started or restarted their healthy journey. Would you be interested in something like that? And that's just a way to quick invite to a free group from forming. And like I said, I do that with all of my people. So that's kind of why we have them and how I get them into a free group. So I'll let Elyssa take the next slide. If anyone has any questions off that too.
Yeah, please, you guys unmute yourselves and ask questions if you have them. Okay. So, and I forgot to say in the beginning too, Beth and I were both on a call with Brandy Botts, our upline coach. We talked to her about running free groups a couple months ago, and just the importance of them. And you may have noticed that kind of push in the team page the last couple months about running free groups and trying to show you the value and what it can do for your business by running free groups, because it wasn't a huge thing that I know I pushed. And I mean, maybe Beth was doing that with her coaches, still having them do that. I think she was. But, my challenge to you guys moving forward after this call is to all be running a free group sometime in May, whether you do it on your own or you pair up with another coach. We would like to see you guys all be doing one. And that's something, we let you invite people into our groups, especially, the new coaches, for you guys to get started and give you something to invite you as far as a specific program. But I think free groups are something you can start to tackle right from the beginning as a new coach. You don't need to necessarily do that with your upline coach that sponsored you. Find another new coach to do that with, or just do it on your own. And that way, you can keep track of all of your own potential customers in that group. So that will be the goal, and I'll remind you of that at the end to get a free group up and running at the end of this month. So how to run the groups. Like I said in the opening, we have some templates that Beth and I are both going to share with you. We'll post them in our Team Fit and Free page. We both have Google Drives that we can share with, all kinds of different templates in them, as far as I have a grilling out one, a crock pot one. Beth has a sweaty selfie one, a 5K, couch to 5K. So there's a bunch of different themes that you can do within your free group. Now, I don't recommend getting too crazy. I would say, you find your top 3 that you like and find those templates and alternate them, like rotate them every 3 months, so you're working smarter and not harder. And it's going to be repetitive information for some of those repeat people that stay in your group, but it's going to be a lot easier for you. And you don't want to give them everything. We want to help them and still give them value and give them something. But I found from talking to a lot of other coaches recently that if you're giving too much and you're doing a new thing every single month and posting every single day and giving them all this info, why would they want to come join your big group? They're getting all the help they need from you in that free group without wanting to take that next step. So So we'll share with you some of those templates that you can use, but just, I would say, pick your top 3 favorites and go from there. And then what you can do with those top 3 is you're going to have one big group, an ongoing free group. And, it just makes it easier than trying to open and close a new one and move people every single month. What you're going to do, though, for 1 week out of a month, whichever week you pick, you're going to treat that group like a paid challenge group where you are posting at least once a day, if not twice a day, a nutrition tip, a fitness tip, a recipe. You're giving that group your all for 1 week, not every day, because like I was saying, that's too much. You're giving everything that you have to that if you're doing it every single day of the month. But once a week, you're going to treat it like a paid challenge group. Those other 3 weeks during the month, I would suggest, you just pop in, you drop your study selfie, you drop what you're eating. I don't post tips, nutrition things. I don't post anything outside of just my sweaty selfie and my meals during that 1 week. It's just, I don't go live in my free group either, hardly. Maybe if I have like an announcement to make when it comes time to run that 1 week, I'll go live and let them know what to expect. But again, just trying not to give myself all away. I do it in that 1 week. You can do prizes. So there's different point systems that you can make a picture, an image, and say, like, if you post once a day, you get 3 points. And if you post a shake or your meal, you get 2 points. You can really make it what you want as far as that. And you have people keep track of points for prizes. And at the end of the week, whoever has the most points wins. You can do things like, if you post every single day, Monday through Friday during this 1 week, that is a big, the week that you're making a bigger deal than most. If they post every day, you're going to put their names in a hat and pick someone in a drawing and win a prize. I like to give personally Shakeology samples as prizes because that's letting them try it. They may have not wanted to buy it yet, and this helps them, and it also helps me because now, they could fall in love with it and want to move on to that next paid challenge group. Or maybe Energize or Hydrate samples. Don't forget that you can get those in the 10 packs, and I think they're only like $10. So those are great samples too to give people. Beth, do you have any other suggestions? I mean, you can do squats, you can do abs, you can make it as fun as you want when it comes to prizes and what kind of little challenges you do for them.
Yeah, I mean, I always usually do Shakeology for my free groups because it's a way to get them to try it and, do it that way. If for some reason, like, they can't or anything like that, I've done like little headbands before. I've done hair ties. I think I've done a water challenge and it was like a water bottle. So those are just some little prizes.
Yeah, there's some cute water bottles that have like the times and like when to fill it up, or when to drink it by as prizes to give away. But my favorite thing to do for the prizes is to have people post every day. And if they do, then they'll be entered to win the prize. That way you have that engagement in your free group. And have close friends and family join your group. Sometimes for me, I know personally, those are like the people I find it hardest to invite because I don't want them to think I'm trying to sell them something. So I have the hardest time inviting them, but when it's a free group, or maybe they're skeptical of what you're doing as a new coach, it's a perfect way to let them see that there's no pressure. Like, I just want to help you because I care about you and come check out what I'm doing. You as a coach must post your daily workouts and meals. So like I said, that's all I post. Like every day during the month, I'm at least checking in with my meals and workouts. And then during that 1 week, I'm really showing up strong based on whatever my theme is. Let me see what,
I can just talk. I just said my thought like there with the have a close friend and family was like, I used to invite my sister to the group and tell her, hey, post every single day because I'm trying to build up engagement. I'm trying to tell people what to do so it doesn't look like I'm the only one ever posting. So that's an idea if you have like a close friend or family member, and it also kind of shows them if they could be a coach too. But you can just be like, hey, can you just do me a favor and come in this group and like post daily,
That's a great idea. I need to do that. I learned something. I need to have someone do that for my free group. Um, and then message before you start. Shoot a message to everyone out before you start that 1 week within the month and just say, hey, I just wanted to let you know we're going to start our sweaty selfie week-long challenge, or we're going to start our squat challenge, whatever your theme is. Let them know and message them so that way they know, rather than just posting it and maybe they blow it off. Advertise the next group at the end or in the middle. So for me personally, I always do it at the end. As my wrap-up day, I'll say, the next step to this group, if you really enjoyed it, is a bigger group where you follow a specific meal plan, a specific fitness program for at least 21 days, maybe longer depending on what you do. But if you want to take that next step, comment below or message me, and then I'll also personally message them too and follow up with them and just say, hey, what did you think of our group? Did you see results? How do you feel? Did you notice a change? And depending on what they say, if they say yes, then you can say, great, like, do you want to turn it up a notch and continue to get results, and invite them to your paid group. If they say no, then you can still invite them to your big paid group, or try to engage with them and find out what went wrong. Did they not follow the meal plan? A lot of this and a lot of coaching in general is about asking questions, trying to get them to talk to figure out how you can better help them and what suggestions you can make to get them to where they want to be. So Shakeology, you could invite them to a Shakeology challenge group after this one. A free group is a great stepping stone to the Shakeology group. You had awesome results. You loved following this 5-day, and you could do a 7-day if you want to do for the week out of that month that you're doing it. I like to keep mine to 5 days, but if you like this 5-day mini challenge in this free group, I'd love to invite you to join us in our next Shakeology challenge on this date. It's the same concept where we're posting every day for accountability. We're following a clean eating meal plan, only this time you're replacing one meal a day with Shakeology. Simple. You just have to make sure you time that out right with your Shakeology groups. Because you need to give at least a week for advertising and inviting, a week for shipping if you're going to be shipping, or they order the samplers and then you start. And then Beachbody On Demand. So I have in my free group, in the file section, a Beachbody On Demand like little blurb. It explains it all, and I posted it in the team page a while ago, and it shows them how to sign up for the free 30-day trial. So when I invite people to my free group, I always tell them, if you don't have a fitness program to follow, I have a free 30-day trial to all of our fitness programs that you can try. And I always give them that bod opportunity. So that's something else you can do, or you can even maybe during your free week, something I'm going to start trying to do, instead of just saying do any program of your choice, I'm going to make a template based on programs I know are available on the free bod trial. And that way we're all doing the same workouts. They can certainly do whatever they want. If they don't want to do Chalene Extreme and they want to try something else, they can do something else. But at least this kind of gives people something to follow. And I feel like when they have something to follow rather than just choosing on their own, they're going to be more likely to follow through with it. And then they still have, 3 more weeks of their free trial to try any other programs that they want. Do you have anything else to add, Beth?
Just one thing with the Shakeology, I've been doing, sometimes I'll do this, instead of running a separate Shakeology challenge that month, I will just post like a week before the free one starts saying like, hey, if you want to make it easier and, just take the guesswork out of one meal, I'm offering, you to try Shakeology for 5 days. So that's kind of a thing. Like if you don't want to run a separate group and you only maybe have, I don't know, you're worried about like only a couple people interested or something like that, you can at least just throw it out there and have them use it. I've done that when I've had excess Shakeology sitting there. So
that's a good idea. So you just run your Shakeology group within the free group. And then if you have outside Shakeology people, you put them in there and then they go in your free group.
Yep. Yeah. It just like, because sometimes like I just run out of time 1 month. So I'll just put it all in one.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what happens after your free week or after that, 7-day challenge? Like kind of like Elyssa mentioned, I follow up with each one of those participants. I will just say something like, hey, I just want to thank you so much for joining our Sweaty Selfie Challenge. How did it go? Did you see any results? Did you like or dislike anything? Would love any feedback you have. And just get their answers. And I'm not going to go into what I would say because Elyssa basically exactly what I would say. If they didn't do it, I would invite them to a paid challenge probably because they actually saw, the thing the whole week and saw the format. Or if they did do it and have great results, get more information and, invite them to the next paid challenge. So if they don't answer, which is, I will say 75% of the time, people don't answer. So I just follow up the next month and be like, hey, just to let you know, we're starting a new challenge in the group. If you'd like to join us, if not, no worries. So, or I'll say like, would you like to join us in the free group? So I'll just let them know because sometimes things got crazy. They missed it. They didn't miss my message. Whatever goes on, I follow up with them in a month and see if they want to try the challenge again. Go to the next slide.
So some things to remember. Keep it to 1 week. You're going to have that 1 week out of the month where you really dive in and you treat it like your big paid point. The other 3 or so weeks during that month are just going to be popping in to show them you're still doing it. So you're showing up every day with your workouts and your nutrition, but keeping it more minimal during those other weeks. Participation varies. To be honest, one reason why I started to move away from free groups, I used to have all my new coaches do that right out of the gate. But I found a lot of people would get discouraged because they would post, I have a free nutrition or clean eating group happening. Who wants to join? And you may get 60, 70, 80 friends wanting to do it because you have this free clean eating group. And then people get really excited, like, oh my gosh, so many people want to do this. This is awesome. And then they start their group and it's crickets. Maybe 1 or 2 people are posting. And, so I found more coaches were just getting really disheartened by that and shut down by that when, think of it as if you don't have skin in the game, like there's not so much need to participate or feel like you need to really do it. I know I felt that way. I was in one of Melissa's free groups, but I thought I knew how to eat clean. I didn't really participate. I just watched and I didn't do it. So don't be surprised if you get people like that. That's okay. They may still be watching and they just don't participate, but just know that participation will vary in your free group and not to get discouraged if it is more crickets than not. But that's where Beth made a good point of inviting a friend or family member who can help you, or you run it with another coach that can be that person that is posting. So it's not just you. Let me see. How many people is the minimum to do a group? Amanda, I would say if you just have one other person, you and one other friend, that's fine to start with. You and 2 other people. My first challenge group as a new coach, like my paid challenge group, was, I don't know, the first, 2 or 3 people that bought challenge packs from me. So it was me and 2 or 3 other people in my challenge group. And now it has, over 200 people in it. So I think Beachbody says a minimum of 3 to start a group. And Tracy, that happened to you. Let's see. Let me unmute you, Tracy. Let me stop sharing the screen since you said that. Where are you? There you are. You want to unmute yourself and share? Oh, you're muted. Let me unmute you. There you go. Oh, no.
Oh, wait. Sorry. Yeah, so, I was with another coach, which was super helpful, but it was my very first time doing a free group, and it was really great at first. Like, people were participating. We got a lot of good feedback and stuff, but then, I think it was after Wednesday, it kind of just went downhill, and there still wasn't anybody posting anything. And we were doing the prize thing. I don't know if anything even came out of that, but yeah, towards the end it was kind of just total crickets.
What was your prize? You guys were doing it based on points, right?
Yeah. The prize was I was doing the group with Katie, and she had won this basket at an auction actually, but it had like a Beachbody program in it and some Shakeology. So we were gonna do like a shaker cup and Shakeology for the prize.
And it was like a point system you had, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you posted a workout picture was 1 point.
Yeah, like just participating was like 1 point, and like sharing a workout or like sharing a healthy meal that they had was like 3 points. So yeah.
Let's see, Beth said, did you reach out to those people who dropped off?
I'm actually working on that now. I have reached out to a couple of them, but they haven't responded to me yet. So I'm going to get back to them this week, I think.
You want to say something, Beth?
I was gonna say, because one tip too is, if people like completely drop off, like someone was like really going strong, and then like by Wednesday I don't hear anything, I'll actually message them and be like, hey, what's going on? I just saw you haven't posted in a little bit, so message them during the middle of the group. You can't do this with everyone, but like there's always
Right.
1 or 2 people that start off like killing it and then go off, and that's a way to show them like you're their coach, this is what you're going to be doing, and making sure that you're like always following up with them. So kind of try to do it in the middle of the challenge versus like the end.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Can I say something too?
Yeah.
A lot of times people, I'm just saying this from experience, from some people have gotten overwhelmed by the point system. Like I made it too complicated at first. I'm not saying that you did. I'm just saying that that's something to be aware of. And another thing is, if no one's ever been in a challenge group before and done the accountability, some are so freaked out by the selfies. So I don't try to push the selfies too much in the free group. I'm like, it would be great to see your face, blah, blah, blah. But if you just want to post what you did, or I suggest they post a picture of like their weights or their shoes or their feet or, their sweaty shirt on the floor or whatever. Something that's not so intimidating to just so that you don't lose them especially in the free groups. Now, when you get into your bigger group, you want to, I usually say, hey, I'm going to really expect more from you, blah, blah, blah. But that's an idea.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Because we were trying to incorporate, it was a cleaning group, but we were also trying to incorporate a little bit of like the fitness part too. But I think, because Thursday was the day we talked about like how fitness and eating will go together. And that's kind of like when I didn't really hear back from a lot of people. So maybe that was intimidating for people.
Did you guys give them the Beachbody on demand to do as fitness workouts during that week, or were they just doing whatever they wanted, or was there any direction with the workouts?
No, there wasn't. Like and I don't know if thinking back now, I feel like we should have been a little more clear on like what our expectation was of that portion of it, because we were just like kind of thinking that they would just post like it was just anything that they were doing. It didn't have to be like a Beachbody program or anything like that, just something to show they're out there doing something fitness related. But I think we should have been a little more clear on that.
One thing you could always do, since you want these people also to make free accounts with you when they are signing up and you add them to your group, when you're doing that invite and they say, yeah, I'd love to be in the group. Okay, let me add you. But first, do you mind making me your free coach? Let them know if they seem weirded out and think there's some kind of catch, but just say, there's no obligation other than it just helps me have some ways to contact you or assigns you to me as your coach. That will let you know if they actually do have another coach. You can have that conversation, see if they've been working with someone else. But 2, that gives them a free Team Beachbody account and will allow them to get the free 30-day bod trial. So, depending on your theme, like before when I would do clean eating challenges, it wasn't always like we didn't have bod, so it was just kind of do whatever you want to do. But, you could either I'll share my specific bod workout week. It's only a 5-day thing, so you can give that to them and say, look, if you're not going to CrossFit or running or training for something, you need something to follow. I'd love for you to do this with us and take a picture when you're done. Or just have them get out and walk. But I would try to be a little bit more specific. Just the more direction you can give them, the more likely they are to do something.
Yeah, I agree with that, because I think I try to think about like how I would feel as a challenger in that group, and I feel like there definitely should have been a little more direction, but just something to learn for sure.
And that's the beauty with these free groups too, is it's a learning thing. There's no failing. It's just a way to learn. You're not going to learn how to run your paid groups better or how to even do them on your own eventually if you don't run a free group first. So it's a good stepping stone. I would say to think about running a Shakeology group, maybe the beginning of June, because it might be a little late to do one now unless you've been planning to do it with the team later this month. But start thinking about that and running your own Shakeology group in June for all of you that haven't done a free Shakeology group yet. And stepping into running your own groups and having that leadership and your challengers seeing you as the leader, rather than, if you've been in Beth's group or my group or something, now they'll be hearing from you. And we have those templates that you can also see in the Google Drive when we share that. I have one, Beth might have the same one, or maybe she made another one that's different for your Shakeology group. Do you use
I use the wording.
Yeah.
But I changed the pictures, but yeah.
Yeah. So, these are all things too that our upline teams, if you really want to see a lot of templates, you can go into FitForce or Team TKO, go into their team pages and go into their Google Drives, and you can find a lot of other ideas too. But Beth and I will share our favorites with you. And if you need to find those team pages from our uplines, if you're in the new coach group, I have in the file section our team family tree, and I have each of their team pages in there that you can request to join if you're not already in there. There's a couple more little notes here. Let me go back and find them here. I won't screen share, but I'll just talk about them. Add value. That's a given, just like with anything we do, whether you're making a post on your personal page or it's in this free group. You want to add value and that people are learning something. And like we talked about on Thursday, it could be something that you think is so simple that everyone knows, but they don't, like shopping around the outside of the grocery store and staying along the perimeter rather than going up and down the aisles. The perimeter is where you're going to find your more nutritious, healthy food. Someone just told me that when I said that to them recently, that clicked for them, and they had never heard that before, and now they just shop along the perimeter. So don't take for granted the stuff that that you think everyone else knows and they don't. Just continue to add value and share with them with every post that you make. Same thing when it goes for Shakeology groups. The whole point of that is to add value and teach them about Shakeology. You could even try to do that in your free group when you post a picture of you with your shake. Because that's a good way for you to sprinkle and breadcrumb about other things that you're doing, your workout program, your containers with your meal. Put your containers in your picture and breadcrumb that. When you're talking about your shake, don't just take a picture of your shake. Share why you love your shake, the phytonutrients, antioxidants, pre and probiotics, the new matcha, and the, Norma, help me out, the mushroom. I can't think of it. Changa, right, or something, I don't know, but share. Oh, did she hopped off? But add value with those things. Switch up the themes, like I was saying in the beginning. Pick maybe your top 3 favorite or even top 2, and let people know, if they start saying something like that, it's it's the same information again, which I doubt anyone would give you a hard time about, but that's okay if they see the same information, or maybe they didn't see it last time. So just pick your favorite 2 or 3 so you can work smarter and not harder. Because I know that's something that Beth and I probably felt like we struggled with in the beginning, was trying to think of something new and creative every single time, because sometimes the same people will want to be in your group over and over again. And you're like, well, they're repeat offenders. I need to give them something new. But you don't, and that's okay if it's not new for them every single time.
Yeah, I was going to say, just quickly save your value for your paid challenge groups, because I got caught in that trap where I put so much focus. Like, you want to put focus on the free groups, but like people were like wanting to join my free groups over my paid groups because I was just doing something new all the time. So yeah.
Yeah, so find your top 2 or 3 and stick with those. And Michelle said, do you guys normally announce ahead of time that there will be prizes? Yes. So I will say, like, if you post every day, Monday through Friday, at least once, I'm going to do a prize at the end of the week for anyone who participates. That way the participation will be there throughout the week. That's kind of dangling that carrot. So hopefully they'll bite and you'll have more participation.
I don't say usually specifically what prize.
Oh yeah, I don't say what the prize will be. No, I kind of determine that based on the winner, or if I know that there's someone interested in Shakeology, or if I think they like something else, do it that way. All right, well, we're about to get kicked off. The last thing tip we have is it doesn't have to be fitness or clean eating. Get creative if you want. You'll see some of our templates that we have and themes and ideas. Maybe it's a plank challenge, or 12 days of Christmas, holiday theme, depending on the time of year. You can do a lot of fun things with it. So if you guys have any other questions, drop them in the team page. You can tag Beth or I, and we will help you out. Hopefully this call gave you some insight and some good ideas for running your own free groups this month or next month. So that's our challenge for you. Kind of homework is to start thinking about, what free group are you going to run next? Is it, your first free group, or are you going to partner up with another coach? When are you going to start it? Tell us in the team page and tag us in that too, so we can know what you're doing and what your plan is. So we'd love to be there and be able to support you guys in your first free groups. So is that helpful? All right, awesome. So thank you guys for joining, and we'll catch you later. Good night.